Okay.
Thank you once again for viewing and taking your time, your life. In the first part, we talked about events. We talked about media. We talked about a lot of things. But the main point I now want to share with you, I want to share my heart conscious with you. I want you to understand heart communication with each other. Heart communications outside of the ego. When you can speak without doubt, worry, or fear in what you say, then you become real with yourself first. Then you can become real with your fellows, your fellow people. This is how you get understanding. The value, the only value on the face of the earth is life itself. Everything that has value outside of life is an abstraction thereof. Any revolutionary thought, this is one of the thoughts that they stand because they know it's so corrupt. The idea of capitalizing upon another human being. Wow. What, is that just? Is that wrong? Not a matter of right or wrong. It's a matter of equality and fairness and honesty and dignity. What do you think about that? Just those simple, wonderful words that a lot of us can't even relate to because all those words are far from our life because of the system that you sit in this moment in time has so obstructed you from not being able to fully have fairness with yourself, let alone with another, because of the doubt, the worry, the fear. Let it go. Be done with it. You are very unique, Occupy, because you failed to become political. That's what made you unique. You didn't run candidates. You didn't say, we have all the answers. No, you never said that. You don't have all the answers. All you stated is what is wrong. And you questioned the reality itself that was imposed upon you since birth. You opposed the condition of the reality in the consciousness of what is. That's what made you revolutionary. That's what makes you revolutionary enough to even listen to the words that are being said. You could be doing many things right now. Let's look where the power really is. The power is within you. You are the power. In the collective consciousness of oneness, within the community, within the total understanding, you as a collective, the people themselves are the power. I don't want to get on the Constitution. You know what it says. How redundant would that be? We the people, by the people, for the people. Oh, let's just get over that. That's said and done. It's always been about you, I, us, oneness. That is the collective power within the understanding. The game has been, when I use the word game, I don't really like to use it because some people might think I'm making fun of it. The reality is you've been caught up in a system that allows you to go vote and they take away your struggle. All designed so you'll go ahead and go with your coping skills for another 4 years to allow this corrupt system to continue. No one on the face of the earth as of yet has challenged the ballot box itself. Think of that revolutionary idea. I want you to imagine it. Can you imagine occupying the ballot box? Think of that. Go there in your mind. You just took the tool from the snake. It's yours anyhow. It's your vote. Watch now. Listen. Just listen. The majority of the people within our society aren't registered to vote. So what I'm saying is the majority, as you sit and listen to this, the majority are already turned off. They know the game. They're sick of it. And they create their own false reality to try to have some kind of fairness and dignity as they waller their way through this life that you call abundant, but you call the American way, the most affluent society on the face there. We can do better as a people. We sure can. So if you want to stop the snake, take the tool. I want to give you a vision, then you can do what you want with it. I want comments from you people. I want you to organize. I want you to battle this in your head. I want you to create such a resistance that the resistance is almost so much in favor of humanity itself. It's almost unreasonable that we even think of it. Can you imagine that we don't vote? We no longer caught up in voting? That's resistance. That's to say no to the establishment. Your non-participation is participation in newness. That's revolutionary. I want you to see it now. Visualize it with me just for a moment. What do I really mean by occupy the ballot box? What I really mean is you occupy your vote and you don't vote for corruption any longer. And there's nothing on that ballot that wasn't formed through corruption. Just get over it. You can sit there and analyze that through your analytical mind. You can use your logic all you want. And when the bottom line comes down, you'll finally come into an agreement with a great big sigh. Yeah, it's just all corrupt. That corruptness, that wrongness that you saw, that's what inspired you when you first went to Wall Street. That was the spontaneous movement of revolution when you finally stood up and said, we don't like the deal. Think of that. So now we must go on. You haven't died. You're very much alive. And we must be the event. You are the event. You don't create the event. You are the movie. You are the event. You are the power. You are the understanding. It is all about you and the tools that you have within your own arsenal as a human being. And in this country, in America, you do have the right to vote if you want to exercise it and fall into that corruption. Or you can stand against it because the vote itself is corrupt. Those choices are going to be yours. I want you to look at it like the movie The Day After. Can you imagine just for a moment? Watch it now as it unfolds. Wednesday, the day after the big election in November. And the newscasters had very little to talk about the night before because less than 5% of the people even went and voted. Can you imagine the White House and Congress and the state capitol is now being fortified and they're putting their fences up because now they're afraid of the people they no longer really represent? Ooh, is that so revolutionary? Make them react to you instead of you reacting to them. By your non-reaction creates action. Don't support the system any longer by falling into voting. Simply stand up and say voting's corrupt. Don't be part of the corruption. In the last session, we talked a little bit about Muggy Mullins. We got Jamie and John, the young people. And we're in that precinct everywhere in America. Occupy is. That's to occupy the ballot box. Your presence is there. And you're standing there and you're telling people to come with us and do not vote. Put an end to what is controlling you. Stand on the side of real freedom and stop the corruption. And you'll be surprised how quick they run to your side of the street. See in oneness, in a unity of consciousness, there is no such thing as a side. I want you to understand that. That's all conditioned thought by the controllers themselves. You're not just the 99%. You are the 100% of humanity that happens to be sitting in America in this part of the globe. And you're all controlled by a corrupt system of the money itself. As you begin to visualize and understand that, then you won't feel that you're taking a side any longer. Because as long as you're taking a side, you're creating an enemy that doesn't exist. Then the war continues and it goes on. It's a time to unify. It's a time of unity of purpose when the voting begins to take place. You have plenty of time. It's right now we're in the heart of winter. To be able to organize the greatest motion that's ever taken place, our non-participation within society. They've never been confronted with it. They're going to spend billions of dollars to try to get you to sway the vote, one way or the other, into corruption. Won't it be fun to watch them burn up all the money and blow all the money, and they only affected a very small minority? Won't that be fun? You occupy, you the people, yourself. This is not the minority thinking. You're already, in this opinion, you're standing with the majority of your citizens. The majority of your citizens are not even registered to vote. So stand against corruption. Take the stand in every street in America, in every community, in every precinct. Knock those doors just like those politicians did. And ask the Johns, the Bills, the Jose's, the Garcias not to vote. And the reason why we're not going to vote. Give them those reasons. Have you ever thought for a moment, out of all this political nonsense they give you, have you ever wondered, in such a great, beautiful system that it is, I'm talking to the ones that are still within the corruption, thinking it's wonderful and good. I want to give you a question I want you to answer. To yourself. Have you ever wondered why the election process has never given you the right to vote for none of the above? You think on that, and then don't vote. Then just don't vote. Until next time, it's always a privilege speaking with you. I hope I identified with you because I know you've identified with me. You're a strong people. You are the power. Regardless of how you feel right now, there's a lot of you within the movement are a little downtrodden right now. You've taken major beatings. The human struggle is part of the box you're trying to get rid of. When you no longer participate in the box by not voting, you become the new. That's revolution without violence. Trust your inner guidance, my friends. Trust your heart consciousness for it to be real to you. Can you imagine on election day that you're all holding hands and all you have the audacity to do is to say no? I ask you, America, do you still have the ability to just say no? Thank you. I'm looking forward to your comments.